So this is a presentation for my environmental science class, and I chose to do this research paper about wolf population management, specifically wolf population management in Wisconsin. And essentially, what prompted me to do this is I saw in the news a couple months back that the gray wolf had been taken off the Endangered Species Act. Um, So essentially, what happens when you take a species off the Endangered Species Act is that the DNR now needs to go hold these annual hunts um, for that animal, and especially since it's a predatory animal, there's going to be a lot of people who want to go hunt that animal. So what happened was back in February when they actually hosted this hunt for the gray wolves. They said, "Hey, look, we want to go set out to kill a certain number of wolves." So they said they want to kill about 120 wolves. And what ended up happening is um, they shot way too many. They overhunted them, and about 4 days in, they had to shut the whole thing down because people were killing too many wolves. They shot about uh, 216, and that was only 4 days in to the hunt. Now, the reason why people kind of like to hunt these animals is because they're known to kind of eat livestock and kill deer and that sort of thing. But according to a professor at UW-Madison, um, that's actually killing wolves is not really the solution to that problem. And the reason why this is because wolves live in these kind of uh, highly structured social packs, and when you kill wolves, when you take the bigger wolves out of these packs, what ends up happening is now this group of wolves is filled with these smaller wolves, these weaker wolves, and they now need to go kind of merge with another group of smaller wolves, and they're not really that adept at hunting, so they pick off livestock and weaker prey. And according to Treves, I don't think it's pronounced Adrian Treves, professor at UW Madison. He says that according to his research, that actually hunting wolves like that actually causes risk of livestock to triple in the next following months whenever they hold a wolf hunt like that. Um, so that's not really the only reason why uh, the wolf population management has been kind of irresponsible. It's also because wolves do a lot for the ecosystem. They can help control the deer population. Um, they pick off the sick deer. They pick off the dying deer, and they actually help improve deer populations because what they do is they eat the weak deer and the sick ones, and then you're all of a sudden you're left with a much healthier deer population. They control the beaver population, and you get healthier river conditions, and you and you get more vegetation. Um, and they provide food for scavengers like bears, wolverines. Um, when they die, they provide food, and they decompose into the earth. Um, when I was kind of doing this research project, I was thinking of this book that I read uh, for another project that I did. Um, it's called Sand County Almanac. It's by Aldo Leopold. Um, and he was also from Wisconsin, so that's a nice tie-in. But he has a chapter in this book that's kind of famous, and um, he talks about when he was in his youth and he was a hunter, and he killed this wolf. He killed a couple wolves, and he thought he was kind of doing justice for the environment. He thought he was saving the deer population. He thought he was kind of ridding the forest of this predator. Um, and when he went down the hill, he says that he kind of saw this green fire kind of diminish in the eyes of that wolf. And he says in that moment he realized that that by killing this wolf, you're not, he's not making more deer appear. Everything's connected and everything kind of works off of each other. And he says that he learned to think like a mountain. And this is because, from his perspective, he's thinking, from the deer's perspective too, he's thinking that the wolf is going to kill the deer. And, it's going to make it harder for hunters to find their food source, right? But when you think from the mountain's perspective, you think, well, the wolf is helping to control the deer population that's going to eat the vegetation around the mountain, and you're going to weaken the mountain. So, so he talks about kind of looking at things from different perspectives. But I think one of the main reasons, or another big reason why I think that this wolf management plan that they have has worked out kind of poorly is because, not only did they completely miscalculate, obliterate the quota that they set out for themselves, but also the DNR, they did not really consult with any of the local Native American tribes before they did this. It's actually part of the Native American treaties with the state that they have to consult with that the DNR has to actually consult with tribes like the Chippewa, because of the fact that they hold these wolves kind of sacred in their tradition. So I think that what you can kind of take away from this is in order to really fix this, I think we have to kind of provide better education about how ecosystems work and how predators, they're not they're important to the ecosystem, and they're not just these kind of villains that we make them out to be. I think another way to help would probably be to stop the wolf hunt before the quota is fulfilled, so that way if there's any margin of error between the quota that they set out and the number that the hunters actually killed, that could potentially be fixed. And then also consulting the Native American tribes would probably be a good thing to do, because that is in the treaty with the state that they have, that the Chippewa have. So yeah, thank you.